And as you can see, employees have already boarded up the area, but you can still see chunks of wood and a little bit of debris from where this pole behind me was knocked down. Luckily, no one was hurt, but employees have told me that they have quite a big mess to clean up on the inside. But here's what happened. Some pet owners resort to throwing their animals over this 8-foot tall fence. Coming out and finding his lawn looking like this was very common. We followed the signs that say vote no. They led us to this neighborhood. The reason why these lines were redrawn was to accommodate bike lanes and to make this school zone a lot safer. But they are hoping to have another meeting where they can sit down with the people and settle their dispute to end the fighting. Danielle Skinner, News Channel 25.
She kissed me on my right cheek and she said, "I love you, Mommy."
Lena Port tried to hold back the tears as she remembered the last words her daughter Brianne Breckner said to her before she died. It's been 4 years since the accident, and Port says whoever hit her child was drunk behind the wheel.
Yes, they were walking on the grass. You know, they were not even walking in the road. They were on the side of the road. These people were too drunk to even see these two children.
For the Port family, the annual Mayfest is just a reminder of a wound that will never heal. Port and her sister Sandy Lynch say the festival has poor security and allows people to leave the grounds drunk.
The people who were at the Mayfest the year my daughter passed away is probably still going to the Mayfest and still drinking and still leaving drunk.
Bruceville Eddy volunteer firefighters defend their fundraiser. The fire department and emergency services have hosted the event for 29 years, and they don't sell alcohol on the premises.
Not a big party that everybody thinks it is. It's actually a fundraising event, and all the money is split between our fire department and our EMS first responders.
But attendees can bring their own alcohol, and many do. The money raised at the event provides almost all the operating funds for both departments, but that won't bring Brianne Breckner back.
And that was a tragic accident, but even during that accident, we did have adequate security on the Mayfest grounds, and so it didn't happen on the Mayfest grounds that everybody thinks it did.
Still, the Port family wants to see Mayfest canceled and the person responsible behind bars.
I know it's not going to bring Brianne back, but it will ease us a little bit, knowing that somebody is going to pay for it.
I just hope that one day justice is served and the people that killed my daughter, person or persons, are brought to justice, and I will not stop fighting.
Now, a memorial was built for the teen. It was finished today and is currently at Brianne Breckner's grandmother's home in Bruceville Eddy. Danielle Skinner, News Channel 25. This Army sergeant is pretty riled up.
I will fight this case until I can no longer fight this case. I will do whatever it takes.
Sergeant Richard Corder plans on hitting BBG even harder this time. The lawsuit now involves more soldiers. He wants his money back, and he's done his math.
Knowingly rip off soldiers like that when you're charging $41 for 4 seconds, that averages out to $615 a minute, and that is unacceptable.
Corder says the company didn't even show what they charge on the actual payphone. He didn't even know about the fees until a big fat bill ended up in his mailbox.
We defend these people. We risk our lives on a daily basis, and they're going to rip us off? Why?
Well, I wanted some answers too. So I called the phone company, got receptionist after receptionist, and still no one would comment.
I'm not the only victim here. All U.S. forces, all armed forces are victims of this, and it's not right for a company to do that to us.
And that's when the case got much bigger. In fact, Sergeant Corder says it's not about the money, it's about soldiers being taken advantage of. Before the lawsuit, Corder's lawyers tried to work things out with BBG, but had no luck.
We're asking, take care of our troops. Don't swindle them. We have sent letters demanding that they stop, demanding that they leave our troops alone. They've refused, thus we have to drag them into court.
But until his moment in court, Corder hopes even more soldiers will join the class action suit. Now, I spoke with one of Corder's attorneys, John Mattis, today, and he says he is aware the company will have their high-powered lawyers, but he claims Corder and other soldiers have a moral right on their side. Danielle Skinner, News Channel 25.
News Channel 25's Danielle Skinner joins us live. Now, some people are really taking this change personally.
And that's right. The citizens I spoke to, they're so angry at the city that some even protested during this meeting.
If we start euthanizing animals in 72 hours without working with some of these groups of people, Waco, Texas will have another black eye.
Tonight, animal rights supporters said the Humane Society isn't going down without a fight. Animal rescue groups, Humane Society workers, pet owners, and their animals came forward and demanded the city allow the shelter to continue its adoptions. They brought their signs too.
We're the animals' voices. They don't have a voice. My dog is like my child, and he means the world to me, and I can't stand to think of them killing them within 72 hours.
The city of Waco had plans to take over the shelter's operations. They would keep stray or abandoned animals for 72 hours. If the animals weren't adopted or found by their owners, they would be killed.
We are here to let you know your proposal for the takeover and closing the shelter to adoptions is not acceptable.
Denise Reinker is an animal rescuer and trainer. She started a petition on change.org that has over 2,000 signatures.
Right now, Wacoans have a very bad taste in their mouth for the shelter.
In this petition, she demands the city allow more time for pets to get adopted and build a new shelter.
If this ever happens, I will bawl my eyes out. What a wonderful thing for the animals and for the people of Waco to have a brand new animal center.
It's still unclear where the city stands, but whatever happens, the people of Waco are saying something's gotta give.
We voted them in, and they need to go by our wishes. We don't want this. They need to stop. And they need to tell us what their plans are, like they said in there, you know?
Now, Mayor Malcolm Duncan Jr. assured everyone tonight at the meeting that negotiations are still in the works between the Humane Society and the city. Nothing is set in stone yet. Danielle Skinner, News Channel 25. A Temple police officer is on medical leave tonight after being dragged by a car right before he shot the driver. It happened around 11 yesterday morning at Central Avenue and North 6th Street when the officer stopped the vehicle and ordered the driver to step out. Well, that driver refused and took off. The officer's arm was stuck in the car window and he was dragged for about 50 yards. The officer pulled his gun and fired shots into the vehicle, hitting the suspect in the head. The suspect is in the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Texas Rangers will conduct a routine investigation over the officer involved in the shooting. Across the state, certain hotels are offering free rooms tonight for those who have friends or family in the hospital over the holidays. The Room in the Inn program has been provided for more than 20 years by TMI Hospitality. The free rooms can be found in Temple at the Fairfield Inn by Marriott and Hampton Inn by Hilton. The program is also provided in Waco at the Fairfield South and the Residence Inn, as well as the Fairfield Inn in College Station. Well, even this cold and rainy Christmas Eve didn't stop people in Central Texas from getting out to stores to make sure they filled their family's Christmas wish list. News Channel 25's Adam Shear went out to some of the stores today to see how local businesses were handling the last-minute shoppers.